What's going on, guys? Stefan here. Welcome to another video. No gym session today, no vlog, no day in the life. I am just showing you my individual ball session today. I'm at the field right now. It's the first time I've been able to get on a full-size turf pitch since I started off-season training a week ago. So I'm going to take full advantage of it today, show you everything that I do. I have a pretty long session plan today, but the goal of this is to show you exactly what a professional footballer does in the off-season. I'm going to work on a lot of my weaknesses, stuff I want to implement in my game for next season. So without further ado, let's warm up, let's get straight into it. Starting off this session as a warm-up, I just dribbled the width of the field 4 times, just kind of doing free dribbling, some step overs here and there, a couple of moves, nothing much, just getting used to being on the ball. And then I moved into more of a dynamic warm-up, just using a 20-yard area, some jogs back and forth, some side steps, dynamic stretches, dynamic movements, loosening up. All in all, that warm-up part took about 7 to 10 minutes. And then from there, I headed into juggling. As you guys know, I always start off the session with juggling. A lot of touches, just getting used to being on the ball. I can't recommend juggling enough. It is a great way to work on your first touch, even though it seems super simple. A lot of touches, and every single touch matters. You know, if you mess up, the ball's going to drop. So every touch is just as important as the last, and I do a bunch of different variations just to challenge myself. I'm left-footed, that's my dominant foot, so doing 100 on my right side isn't as easy as on the left side, but the more I do it, the more comfortable I get using my right foot. 500 juggles in total. I did 100 alternating between both feet, 100 just on the right foot, 100 just on the left foot, and then I did 100 two-touch juggles, so 2 touches on the right, 2 touches on the left, so on and so forth. And then the last 100 juggles, every 10th juggle, popped it up over my head and behind me, controlled it on the other side, and did the same thing. 10 juggles, popped it over my head with the other foot, and controlled it. So after I warmed up, this is the first official drill of the session. It's super basic, but I do not think you can do enough of this drill. If you watch my videos, you know I do this all the time. It's just a cone weave with a 5-yard dribble afterwards. So what I'm showing now is just the first full set that I did. So I did a bunch of different variations. Each variation I did 4 reps of. The first variation, as you can see, is just tap, tap, brush all the way through, and then turning around that last cone. I turned around that last cone 2 times using the inside of my feet, and then 2 times using the outside of my feet. So 4 reps total. Twice with the right foot, twice with the left foot. And pretty much I'm doing this non-stop for all 4 reps. Now once I complete those 4 reps, I take a minute and a half break, and then move on to the next variation. But I cannot recommend doing this drill enough. It's amazing for tight ball control and just overall ball mastery, placing the ball exactly where you want it with every single touch that you take. And as you can see, you take a lot of touches during this drill. And keep in mind that with every variation that I'm going to show you, I do 4 reps of every single one. So this first part of the session took me about a half hour to complete. I am a big fan of doing few drills, but a lot of reps. So not doing it until you just get it right, just doing it until you can't get it wrong. And just like any other YouTube video, editing is always involved, so what you guys see is pretty much just my best reps. But if I'm doing this and I mess up, if I hit a cone, if the ball goes off to the side too far, I restart, I go right back to the beginning and do it until I get it perfect. And that's a standard you should have with every drill that you do. If you mess up, don't just accept that as a bad rep and then move on. Go back to the beginning, get it right, and then just do it until you don't get it wrong. So moving on to drill number 2, and the first third to half of this session, I'd say, was just solely based around the technical side of the game, so lots of close, tight touches, and this drill is no different. This is another one of my absolute favorite drills to do. I think using a wall, or in this case a table, is just so underutilized and so beneficial for any player in any aspect of the game. But with this drill, I stood 2 to 3 yards away from this table and then just focused on one-touch passing. So 100 passes with the left foot, 100 passes with the right foot, and then 100 alternating between both feet. And again, such a basic drill. There is nothing fancy about this whatsoever. You can do this anywhere. You can do this in a parking lot against a wall. You can flip over a table or a bench. But there is so much value in this simple exercise. And with every single pass that I make, I'm trying to hit that ball on the ground and firm so that it comes back hard enough to challenge me. And also notice how I'm never just standing on that one foot. I'm always bouncing on my toes, prepared for that ball to either come back bouncing or a little bit off to my left or right. So I'm ready to deal with it and take another clean touch to kind of set myself up for that next pass again. And moving on to the next exercise, I placed a single cone about a yard away from this table, and this drill is solely focusing on my first touch. So I did 40 reps of this total, 2 different variations, and then 2 sets of each different variation. With this first one, as you can see, I'm just playing that ball firm against the table, taking that touch across the cone using the inside of my foot, and then playing with that opposite foot, just repeating that for 40 reps. And like any other drill using a wall or a table, the harder you play that ball in, the harder it comes back. So play that ball in firm, challenge yourself with that first touch, and every single touch, focus on making it clean. And after I did 2 sets using the inside of my foot, I did 2 sets, again 40 reps in each set, taking that first touch using the outside of my foot. With this next drill, a little bit more game realistic. I had 3 balls with me, and I placed a goal 15 yards to my left. So I stood 5 yards away from this table, and with each ball, I did 3 passes. So pass, touch, pass, open 90 degrees, and then played into the goal. With these first couple passes, I'm just focusing on taking a good first touch, and with this third pass, opening up my hips and getting that ball out from under me so I can set myself up to make a firm pass right down the center of the goal. So after I did 3 total reps opening up and playing with my left foot, I moved on to taking a touch with my left and then playing with my right foot into the goal. So touch, pass, pass with the right. And then I worked on using the outside of my foot, so pass, outside, pass, open up with the outside of the foot, pass into the goal. 3 reps, just like this. And obviously, if I do all that on my left side, gotta switch up the goal, bring it to the right side now, and do 3 reps of each of those 3 variations on the right side. So opening up using the inside of my right foot, taking that first touch with the right foot and then playing with the left, and then using the outside of my right foot, opening up and then playing into the goal with my right foot. Then, after doing all that on the left side and the right side, I moved the goal 15 yards behind me and worked on opening up 180 degrees now. And with this first one, I started off the same, 3 passes, and after that third pass, opened up my hips, caught it on my back foot, so the inside of my left foot, and then played it into the goal with my right foot. After doing that variation on the left and the right side, the next one I did was opening up a little bit further, so I still took that touch on the inside of my left foot, but kind of drug it around me and then played it with that left foot again. And the final variation now, taking that touch across my body, so after those 3 passes, taking a touch with the inside of the left foot across my body, and then playing with the left foot into the goal. Moving on to the last 40 minutes of the session, I just worked on crossing. So I'm a left back. A big part of my game is getting good deliveries into the box. Because I didn't have another player or striker to cross balls into, I just set up a small goal between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot as a target as to where I want to cross the ball. That's usually where most of my crosses end up. And during this 20 minutes, I would switch up my crosses. So sometimes I would use my laces and try to drive it into the box. Other times I would curl it into the box. Some other times I would play it on the ground firm, like I was trying to play it behind a back 4 into an on-running striker. So switch up your crosses, focus on different types of crosses, but still trying to get it into a good area in the box. So for the final 20 minutes of this session, I worked on what I really want to implement into my game next season. So I set up 3 cones outside the 18 just to kind of be a defender, and then worked on going at those cones, 1v1 dribbling, and then getting a delivery into the box. So a big strength of mine, and something I did a lot of last season, was getting good deliveries into the box. But what I didn't do a whole lot was take defenders on. So what I did, and what I really like doing, is just getting a ball played out wide to me, taking a first touch in front of me, and then that second touch, just whipping the ball into the box. And that's great, but what I want to try to do more of is get into the mindset of, if I have space in front of me, take it and then take a defender on. I want to create more chances on my own rather than just getting slipped in behind or taking the first touch and whipping it in right away. So this is what I'm going to focus a whole lot on this offseason. But that's all I have for today. This was my entire session. Really good session. It was probably an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes in total, but hour 45 minutes of solid work. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something from this. Try to implement some of these drills into your own training. But if you enjoyed, drop this video a like, subscribe for more videos in the future, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.